So, glyphs of the fourth world. Starting units gain 2 movement points and sight for 5 turns, and military units within 3 tiles of an arbitral wonder gain 25 combat strength, percent combat strength. Cities act as sources of fresh water and convert 15% of their production into science, and you start with an additional Pathfinder.
It's kind of
So,
interesting. So, all of the units you have at the start get the 2 movement.
yes, and 2 vision.
Yeah.
So basically, the goal is for this. It was meant to symbolize the great migration, mythical migration of these people,
Right.
and to be able to have maybe a legendary kind of start, because you can move your settler very far away, and so you can try to find a natural wonder nearby.
Makes sense. So this is the thing you were mentioning earlier that like they came over from um like from North America or Asia, I guess.
No, they basically a lot of Amerindians have these mythical origin stories about them
Right.
coming from very far away.
Yeah.
And for the Satsinam, it has a really deep religious meaning, since they were meant to emerge from below the earth into the fourth world, or world, hence why the name of the unique ability. And so they traveled far away. And I talk about with you before the stream about the Aztecs who did the same. But generally in this region, people have a lot of stories about great migrations. The
Right.
Great Plains in general are full of these kinds of stories.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I thought it was sort of somewhat accepted that people in America like there was a time where they walked over like between Alaska and Russia, I guess, and walked down. But I guess that's probably too far in the past to be part of their stories because it was like 15,000 years ago or whatever more.
Yes, it's not present in terms of names, in precise names, but in terms of great memories, it can be found.
Cool.
So now the unit. So
Yeah.
the first unique unit is the Iladana. It's a unique composite bowman, uh, which has the same combat strength as a normal composite bowman, but it has 2 bonuses. First, it has quick study, so it gains experience much more quickly, which can be very powerful in the long term. And second, it has Mesa Hunter, which allows it to gain double movement in desert or hill types, and also to move after combat, after attacking.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem much at first, but I wouldn't dare to give them more power because it's really powerful.
No, no, no. I can imagine it is a very good unit. Like whenever you have a movement bonus, always makes a massive difference. Um, and XP as well, and the other they have 2 movement bonuses and an XP bonus. So yeah, like
And their lack of brute force is compensated by the fact that you can have 2 lines of Iladenas and really switch them and attack again and again and again. So,
yeah,
and they can also attack then move to get away from the enemy. So
yeah.
yes, they can really do a lot of things.
So if they're in a desert hill, like I mean, is it
No,
always gonna be like half a movement point, basically? Do you know?
it's no. I from what I remember, it's always 1 movement point
Okay.
minimum.
Okay.
So the 2 bonuses don't stack.
Cool. Sounds good. What should we go to next?
Then we have just below the unique national wonder,
Okay.
which is sorry, I don't have the Yupkoivi, which is you can call it Pueblo Bonito if you want. It's I just used an antonym, the original word for it. So it's a replacement for the East India Company, which is unlocked at physics. So once again, this focus on the bottom part of the tree, even though the civilization is not a warmonger, or at
Yeah.
least not totally. Every civilization can be a warmonger, as you proved this month.
But
So
India is. I don't think India. Like, obviously, India probably shouldn't be from history, but in Vox Populi, I feel like India kind of is.
everyone is a warmonger deep down.
I suppose so.
So it's available earlier. It requires less population. Okay, okay. And it gives bonuses to desert types. It converts 25% of the city's food output
Wow.
into gold. So, sorry, I must speak less loudly.
Mate, we're bringing back the old Petra.
Mm, yes. And one thing to note is that this conversion doesn't take into account trade units, trade routes. It's unfortunate, but that's how the SQL function works. I asked about it on Discord, and it's intended so it won't change, unfortunately. Uh,
Yeah. That's most things that are like that. You won't get percentage bonuses on trade routes because it's done like flatly after.
mm. And then the second part of this unique national wonder is about internal trade routes. So it
Okay.
gives you an additional trade route, boosts all your trade routes, and when you finish an internal trade route, it gives you science and culture, so you have no excuses for not using them.
Yeah, so 100. Yeah, so you will get pretty good bonuses because they're normally like 20, maybe 25 turns. And you get 100 in medieval era, 150 in Renaissance. So
Yes.
pretty good. I feel like I heard a bit about like I was watching some history thing and they were talking about. I'm pretty sure it was like the Pueblo region that like there was loads of cities that were like well linked together.
Mm.
Yeah, so I feel like this is correlating with that.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Basically, the Pueblos are the greatest urban civilization of the South and North America, in this region that is really arid and inhospitable at first sight, and they really created um, not a unified nation per se, but something that is very a cultural sphere of influence that was very powerful before, as I said in the Dawn of Mad speech, they basically destroyed themselves by destroying forests to construct these great cities. And so the land, which was already inhospitable, became unbearable for agriculture. And so they had a lot of tough times since the 14th century.
Interesting.
Mm. So the second unique unit, the Yaliashiki,
Okay.
it's the name can be a bit frightening at first sight, but it's not that hard in the end. It's a unique lancer, so it's about Popeye's rebellion, this unit,
Yeah.
and it's unlocked earlier, costs less, uh, has reduced combat strength, so 34 instead of 36, I think. Um,
37 for a Lancer normally.
okay. But it ignores zones of control, and you know it's important
Yep.
and it gains 25% strength against all ranged units, land ranged units, so siege and archers.
Yeah.
And it also works defensively. I checked.
Right. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it's basically got cover kind of then.
Mm.
And attack bonus. Interesting. I mean, astronomy is quite a lot earlier than metallurgy, and you don't even need astronomy for metallurgy, so it's quite different in that way. Like, I would say it's worse than a lancer, maybe, or similar. Like, I wouldn't say it's powerful, just from, but obviously being earlier does make a big difference. So, yeah, we'll see.
and it doesn't have any malice against cities also.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
guess you could, because you could get them earlier, you could get them in time to actually attack some castles with them.
mm. And this unit tends to one-shot guns and archers.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that, but the thing is that Lancers do that anyway. So that's why it's probably not like there's not that many situations where 25% combat attack is going to be that useful because you probably would have insta killed one of those units anyway. Like crossbowmen are like 15 combat strength or something. I guess muskets are like 20, but yeah.
Mm. Yes, we'll see anyway.
True.
And finally, the unique building, the Maniakawa. And so it's a unique wall, which gives you an engineer specialist. So like the walls of Babylon give you a scientist.
Oh wow.
Um,
Oh
so
okay. Specialist slot. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
so it synergizes with the unique ability. Uh, and if you go, for example, I don't remember the name of the pantheon, but the pantheon that gives you production if you have 3 citizens.
Tutelary, yeah.
Yes, it's very powerful. You can really stack a lot of productions early on.
Yeah,
Uh,
because they give bonuses to engineers as well. It's like plus
yes,
one production and faith or something per engineer.
yes. So it gives a little less defense and health than the basic wall, but
Oh
garrison
really?
units in the city gain 10 more HP when they heal.
Okay.
So the city is a bit weaker, but the unit in it is stronger. And also, it gives you 2 food per production building in the city. So it's a lot of building. I have the list on Sips Fanatics. You can see the list down below.
Okay. You
Uh,
mean like forges and stuff like that?
yes, well, watermill, stoneworks, forge, workshop,
Ah, okay.
windmill, factory, train station, everything gives 2 food.
Okay.
And so you can see a pattern here. Basically, a lot of production focus, and also this ability to really find a place where you want to be, even if this place can be a bit inhospitable at first sight, like some food or some production. And thanks to your bonuses, really make this place, which nobody else wants, for example, in the middle of a desert, thrive, and so grab extremely good tiles or spots and still be able to make the city work in other ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see that. Instruction for this. Yeah, man. I mean, I have no idea how to play this. Like just thinking about it.
um, from what we did together when you tested the iNews, you know I like civs where you have a lot of important choices to make really early on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's in the same idea. For this civilization, the 5 first turns are the most important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll be with you during these 5 turns, and then I must go, unfortunately. But
Okay.
at least,
Should we come out of the fourth world then and see what's waiting for us?
yes. Good luck.
Okay. Well, we got a bit of everything. I mean, we're on tundra. There's desert up there. We got plains, hills, double pathfinder. So I guess we can find everything.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose. Oh, mate, I think I just missed out on 14 food that I would have got by meeting them.
Oh,
If I
yes.
actually had a city.
There's also the potential for this civilization to try to rush down a wandering settler, enemy settler.
Yeah, if you're on like a small map, definitely.
Oh, nice.
Did you give them tundra bias, by the way?
No, desert, but
Desert, yeah, yeah.
unfortunately, it's desert region. It's not desert. It doesn't place you on desert. It places you near a desert tile. So
Man,
sometimes it can be a bit funky like that.
I feel like my map is looking so weird. Like, since the new patch, all of the maps I've had have been weird. Even though I didn't change anything. Like, what is going on with this? Um,
Yes, so you have a natural wonder just next to you. So I think and three luxury resources within the three tiles. So I think you can go there. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, wait, so this natural wonder is production and gold, and it's going to be a tough one to work from the start, because it doesn't give any food, so potentially we
Yes.
might need to go and settle here or something so we can work the cocoa.
Mm. Something you can go also is go just right of the incense. I don't know
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
because since you gain food from the wall, you can go there, build a well quickly, and then rush the wall. And then with tutelary gods and the bonuses, you can make a triangle farm quite quickly just above.
True. Yeah, how does this fresh water thing work then? So cities create fresh water, right?
Yes.
Um, yeah, like what does that mean?
It means it gives bonuses to farms. It allows you to build farms in places where they normally wouldn't be able to.
Okay.
And also, it allows you to always have the bath available. So, more culture in the long term. But it doesn't give you the river well. I don't remember
The
the
watermill.
name. The watermill, yes, because it's you must be adjacent to a river to build it.
Okay.
But the well is also very good early on. So
Yeah, yeah, true. Hmm. So yeah, like we could settle there, which normally we couldn't, because so I assume we'd get 3 food, 1 production if we settled there.
and somebody told about the fact that you could also stay where you are and then build a secondary city, but it's your choice really.
That is also true. We got marble here, copper. We could even go here and then we can get some cocoa. Um, I kind of think settling on the river is a bit better because we will we'll need to grow quickly so that we can actually work these copper tiles.
Mm. And don't forget, each production you get allows you to gain more science in the long term. So
True, true. Um, this is a little tough. I mean, we might be able to go like God of Nature or something, Goddess of Nature.
a lot of mountains plus the natural wonder. Yes.
Yeah. Hmm. I'm gonna go here, I think. I mean, I'm thinking we're gonna get a lot of ruins, so that will help us with potentially um, growing our borders and buying workers and stuff like that.
Oh yes. In the thread of the civilization, I said that I I said that playing with ruins meant the Civ was a bit OP in the early game. So yes, but you do you. So
Um, yeah, I mean, it's all good, I think. I
yes,
think,
it's a test
yeah.
anyway.
I'm just gonna go here. I do want to have. I feel like the marble is a good call actually to have the marble within range of the city, because then it will help us build the wonders that we'll probably want to build here. And yeah, we can settle our second city up here. I think I'm gonna go shrine first. There's a couple of pantheons that could be very good here, either tutelary or god of nature, both of which work quite well straight away.
Basically, it depends, but I like to go tutelary when I go authority or progress, and I like to go god of nature if I find quickly a natural wonder, and I go tradition, for example.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go pottery because obviously we're gonna want like pottery and mining basically at some point. I think we only need mining when we actually can get a worker, so it's probably a little bit pointless to have it right now.
I agree.
And this guy is a bit trapped, but figure some way out for him. I mean, we should be able to find more natural wonders, honestly, with this bonus movement that we have.
Especially if your scouts manage to gain a trailblazer quickly,
Yeah.
can really cruise through the map.
Okay, +1 pop. Interesting. Yeah, let's just work that. If we build a granary quickly, we'll get food back anyway. So, was there anything that we missed out when we were discussing the Civ?
I'll use this occasion to also answer Michelgo, because he wanted to hear me talk about the design process.
Okay.
But basically, this I wanted to represent a bit more of urban First Nation civilizations. From it has been the case for a while now, and I also wanted to try making a sieve by myself, because most of the time it's Gwenog who did the coding for this last year. And I looked at what he was doing, and once again I thank him for doing the Elua part of this mod, which is light. It's only basically the additional the unique promotion for the first 5 turns, but see, it's a defining trait of the Civ. So thank you, Gwenog, once more. He also did the promotion icons now that Asterix Rage isn't here anymore. For the design part, basically, I also wanted to reuse the bonus combat for natural wonders, because it had been removed from the Iroquois. And so I figured out that because the Pueblos had this great relation with the natural wonders of our world, that are the Great Canyon and the Great Mesa. They live in this region. These are sacred lands for them, and they also were a great urban civilization. And also there were these art from Rosa Squatch available, since he accepted that I used them. It was really the perfect occasion to work on this. And so I worked like that, and it was done fairly quickly. To be honest, I'm a bit disappointed by the lack of reception, because the Great Merge made the Civ a bit invisible in the great scheme of things. But I'm quite happy with the result. I think it may be a bit too powerful right now, but we'll see. You can tell me what you think about it later if you want.
It's not the impression I got. I mean, like, powerful civs are usually ones that give you clear authority bonuses, because, like we always say, like, authority is just the most powerful way, and I don't feel like any of the units were like that good. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not expecting it to be too powerful.
Maybe the 15th percent conversion of production into science can really go crazy in the end game. I'm still,
Ah,
yes, can, we'll see. I need some more
yeah.
test subjects.
I mean, I feel like production is, yeah, it's going to be a significant amount actually. It's probably going to be like a third of your science or something along those lines.
Yes, so it's strange to have a civilization that can that basically at first I wanted to make so that the production was converted into faith because Popeye was a priest and the Isatsinam built these great houses with the idea of having a clear architecture with sacred symbolism.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the function doesn't work correctly, so I had to make a choice. And in the end, it has its own benefits, so I'm okay with it. Basically, the function that allows a building to convert a yield into another doesn't work with culture or faith as the yield at the end of the process.
Oh, really?
So, yes. It's unfortunate. I asked about it. I made a GitHub ticket, but it never got answered. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is.
the Great Merge really did. There were 100 requests about it.
That sounds like something
So,
that will get done eventually. I mean, I guess the problem is always like when you make these changes, then you have to make sure that AI knows how to flip and
mhm,
assess it, and yeah. But I imagine that most people would want to make that change.
mhm. We'll see later.
Yeah.
Oh, even more population.
Yeah, I mean, our first 5 turns is done, man. I can't move around like crazy anymore. It's very sad.
Yes, you've still covered a lot.
Yeah, I thought this was perfect time to get this guy Trailblazer free, because since he can't run that far on land anymore anyway, might as
Mm,
well put him in the water. Let's save up for a worker.
yes, and I think this civilization would be the bane of the Shoshones. So once again, good neighbors.
What was? Did they have a relationship? Like, were they? They were there at the
Uh,
same time, right?
uh, No, basically the Shoshones met the Pueblos when the Pueblos were already in decline.
Right.
So, but they are basically the ancient name for the Pueblos uh, uh, was the Anasazi. They are not like known like that among most people. But Anasazi is a word used by their enemies. It was used by sorry, by the Navajo.
By
The,
them, yeah.
yes, it means basically the enemy, ancient enemies.
Right.
So yes, basically from the 14th century onward, the region was really, really inhospitable. So every man for himself, and it was quite bloody, to be honest.
Right. By man, you mean like every civ, or was it
Yes,
seriously?
yes, it was very, very dark times.
Okay.
Um, and also the unique building, the unique walls, is also a representation of this time, because during this time, basically the Pueblos hid in cliff villages under in the mesas,
Yeah.
and there it was far away from more from the best lands, but it was because these were so dangerous lands at the time. Everybody was trying to get the minimum amount of water to survive. Basically, it's the start of what we call in Europe the Little Ice Age,
Yeah.
and in America it was known as the Great Drought.
So
So,
when is that?
end of the 13th, start of the 14th century.
Okay.
So, a time of great peril also in Europe, since the 14th century in Europe was the time of the Black Plague
Right.
and the Hundred Years' War. So, really a fun time to be alive. And for Northern America, for North America, it was also the end of the Mississippi civilization, which basically exploded into a lot of different cultures.
Right.
And for the Isatsinam, since they had cut a lot of forests to build their cities, once the Great Drought came, they had nothing more to sustain themselves. So it was really like a bit like the Easter Island. I don't know if where you can find the original moai for the Polynesian civilization,
Right.
and it's the same basically. The forests were cut down, and so we think that this made the population vulnerable to climatic events that wiped them out, or basically made their urban civilization far less powerful.
Right. Okay.
And so I have to go now, but I hope you'll enjoy this sim.
Yeah, man. I
Um,
mean, I got to make some decisions now. I don't know what I'm gonna
yes.
do.
And thank you for letting me speak so much. I know I speak a lot.
Yeah, no
But
worries.
see you next time, I hope. And if you want to do a review for other sieves, I would be happy to do so.
Yeah, definitely,
Um,
man.
and I launch a new sieve, I think, next week, so we'll see about it.
Cool. Well, yeah. I hope hopefully some more people will try it out. It probably is just that it got buried, like, because I didn't
Yes,
see
it
it
got
even when I was looking for it. Like,
yeah, it got buried hard, like the Pueblos in the desert.
yeah, man.
So see you soon, man.
Alright, cool. See ya.
See ya.
Alright, alright, alright. Like I said, we got to make some decisions here. Um, like, for example, which policy tree do we want to choose? Progress kind of speaks to me. I mean, let's go over this stuff again. So, we've got. Okay, Unique Archer does good stuff on desert. That ain't gonna be too useful with this land. The Cav guy. I mean, it's not good conquering stuff, really, I would say. These do have the bonus against cities or no malice, which is interesting, and they're earlier. But it's a long time to wait, and it's not like we have good horse terrain either. Brazil over there. I mean, Brazil is one of the best people to conquer. There is that. You get to get all their lovely Brazilwood camps and stuff. We're going to want unique internal trade routes. So that kind of indicates that we want fealty. I think. Not tradition. I mean, I'd normally kind of say that when you have bonus science, you should go authority, because it's really the one thing that authority lacks. I'm not really set up for authority here, though. I think progress makes more sense. We have space, yeah. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. If you have space, you want to be progress. We're gonna have this nice monopoly if we can expand quickly, and another nice monopoly, which we'll have to compete with Brazil for, I guess. The bonus food as well means progress usually, because you normally can't grow authority cities anyway. I wonder if this 15% is counted before you get the 15% conversion, because technically progress gives more production late game with that, but before then authority you do get just the base production, which would basically mean like an extra 1 science per city. I like progress. I think we're gonna go for that. So he was mentioning to me that because you have the conversion of production into science, you can actually go for like ironworking and it's not a big deal. Which is interesting. I mean, I suppose we want to build this as well. Am I going to go for tutelary or am I going to go for... I think tutelary. Though we may struggle with faith. But we can get this. Let's maybe I could have built pyramids here, you know. I didn't really think of that. Probably a good way to ruin a perfectly good game. I think this makes sense to me. Let's find out where resources and stuff are. I do prefer the happiness a little bit. Ooh, I wonder if we're going to get that worker before it goes up in cost. That would be amazing. I don't know if I went the wrong way with this guy, but there's probably another civ up there anyway. Who is that? Japan? Meeting some pretty rubbish civs, you know. It's always a good sign. It's kind of weird to pre-vote a worker, but... yeah. Alright, we gotta defend from Barbs. I don't want to get a fucking 30 science looted off me like last time. That was annoying. Ni hao, my friend. Wait, is that right? think that is right. I mean, if Martin Venka says it, it's probably right, man. Nah, like, personally, I might just do this. I think, like, it depends on the situation. Like, if you're gonna go to war, you don't really want to be below 50%. If you're, and like, there are certain situations, and if you want to make units as well, because it's gonna increase the cost of your units by 25% or whatever, then obviously you do want to stay happy. If you kind of know that you can sort it out in a bit, then it's not a problem, but normally it's quite hard to sort out. Like, unless you're going to get a policy like this, or a building or something. Once you go below, you're not going to come back above for a while, so... But like, if you know you're not going to be at war, it's not a big problem. Okay, this settler should be pretty fucking fast, you know? 13... And also it depends what the tile is that you're going to work with that +1 person. Like, usually I always want to make sure I can keep growing my capital. So then I would lock some other city. I mean, I know that this is weird to build this first. But I think we're going to struggle to get out multiple settlers if we don't do this. So we're not going to be able to really build anything. Yeah, public works, just what you build when you have nothing left to build. Goddess of the Hunt, that's quite early. Does that indicate we've got a good old Spain in the game? We do love a bit of Spain. I mean, do I even care about this construction thing? Probably has some deer about. It's just like, I know we can potentially go down bottom tech tree, get the forge, but what do we do then? There's no like wonders to build down here. There's nothing that's gonna push us forward, you know?
Bow shop?
Wow, wow, we got a lot of stuff. Are we gonna end up taking the Tundra Pantheon here then? Terrain Pantheons are too fucking strong, man. What is that border growth, bro? I got sheep. I want to get to these horses and marble. You're gonna grow here? Madness. 13 turns. We start building it. Probably a bit late in it. But if I'm gonna go for tutelary, then I will want to have this so that I can work the engineers. Am I seriously gonna go for the Tundra Pantheon here? It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So, tutelary plus 2 gold. Okay, so 3 production, 2 gold, 1 faith. Basically, like 4 production, 2 gold. We haven't researched trapping yet, though. There'll probably be quite a lot of deer around. Remember, the thing is with tutelary that it doesn't give much faith, and we actually don't have any bonus faith from, like, any of our stuff. So if we want to get a good religion, then we kind of do need to go for, like, nature or stars and sky, really. Because I don't think 2 faith per city is enough. It's going to be tough to build these, as well. Like, they're quite expensive and they don't actually give any yields as standard. You just get an engineer slot. You like God King? I think it's stars and sky, man. I think it has to be. I think we go trapping. I think we stars and sky it. God King is good. I would usually want to be tradition if I was going to go God King. Because you get the percentage bonus in the capital that's really nice. And honestly, one of the main issues with the Tundra Pantheon is that you don't have enough production, and I don't think we're going to have that problem because we have the copper monopoly. Like, if we could have found a faith wonder, then yeah, we could go for tutelary, but since we haven't, I'm not sure we can. I mean, there could easily be a natural wonder around here that I never found, which is my bad. I can't really look for it now. Let's meet whoever that is then. Good old Babylon. Policy, I do always go for this one first. I think it's reasonable. And then Pantheon. One, two, three, four. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. I think we have 9, 10. 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. So we could actually get 5 food, faith, and gold. Man, we could get a lot actually.